What's up, guys? Blade Master here, gonna be bringing you some Total War Attila action. Yeah, you know, keeping it diverse, keeping the variety going. I know some of you are, actually a lot of you were like, yeah, Attila's cool and all, but I'd rather you commentate over Rome 2 battles. But did you think for 1 second that I give a shit about your opinion? Okay, no, sorry, of course I do. I love you guys. Hitchens Immortal, Polio YT, Crying Seal, you my boys. But this is a really cool game, so I decided, you know what, why not? And I'm sure there are some of you still like watching Attila online battles, and regardless, I'm sure you guys would really like this battle. It would be a pity if you just saw the title Total War Attila and just decided not to watch it, because this was a really cool game. I'm fighting up against Arctic Shield in this match. You might remember him from the Fear the Forest tournament, where he played against the Prussian Prince, I believe. So this is played in the Vodka Flash, one of the Vodka Flash, the latest Vodka Flash. And he has brought the Franks. The Franks are a tier 3 unit. I initially picked the Sassanids, of course. Big surprise there. And no, he picked. Okay, so wait, yeah, okay. Let me get my mind straight. So the map was selected by the admins, so they decided to go with new plains. Despite new plains being a lot of forests and not really plains, I decided to pick the Sassanids because, you know, I gotta rep the Sassanids. So in response, since the Sassanids were classified as a tier 3 faction according to the Vodka rules, you can only pick a tier... Sorry, if they were classified as a tier 2 faction, so you can only pick a tier 3 faction in response? I'm not really sure about the rules, but it was something like that, which basically kind of forced him to pick the Franks. So it's going to be really, really tough for Arctic Shield. With the Franks, he has brought a total of 4 Germanic archers, 3 of whom are here, 1 of whom is hidden, I believe, somewhere. Oh no, the last one's here. He's brought 3 freemen. I like these units. For sure I like these units. They're just very cheap, so you can't really get too much out of them, but they'll do very well in the cavalry supporting role. He's brought a couple of Bagaudai, the 100 talent waste units. Really, I don't see why anyone would bring them. I would much rather just bring Germanic bows. They fulfill the same purpose, but they also have ammunition. And then he's brought 4 Scara Francisca, each with triple gold. So he's put a fuck ton of money, legit fuck ton of money into Scara Francisca. They've got 40 melee attack, they've got 20 cavalry bonus, and they've got 245 charge bonus, which is insane, and 30 melee defense. Very, very strong units now. And 245 health, which is pretty decent too. Besides them, he's brought 3 noble Germanic swordsmen, and he's brought 2 Germanic pikes. So you can see right from the start, he's pulled off his entire force off to one flank. It's got me kind of confused. I'm not really sure what to do. So luckily I brought 1 Persian hurler, which is just a cheaper slinger unit that I'm going to use. You know, I don't mind if it loses all of its ammo on like waste, quote-unquote waste units. So I'm letting it fire onto these freemen. And then when I get the chance, I'm firing into the flanks of this noble Germanic horseman. He's also brought a couple of noble Germanics. There were a total of 6 cavalry for this match. So he's brought one Frankish general. He already brought 4 Scara Francisca. So that leaves 1 excluding your general. So yeah, he's brought 2 noble Germanic horsemen as well. Put some upgrades on them too. For me, I've brought a pretty competitive Armenian build. I brought 3 Armenian slingers. I brought 1 Persian hurler, which is off in the distance with precision shot, firing onto noble Germanic horsemen there. I brought a couple of Persian brigade, and I brought like a bunch of elite Dalamites and regular Dalamites, I believe. Yeah, like 4 elite Dalamites and a couple of 4 Dalamites and a couple of elite Dalamites. And then I've brought some Pushtikban and some Grif Banwar. That's going to make up my my cavalry line. And I've also got a Spabet general. No, I've got a Sovereign Sardar general here. So I'm pulling off one of my Pushtikban there, just to dissuade him from charging in his noble Germanic horseman. He's meanwhile pulling off with the rest of his units off into the distance. Not really sure what he was doing here when I was playing. Maybe his strategy will come into play as this game proceeds. Moving off with the rest of his units there, you can see some of his cavalry are a bit exposed there, but I can't really attack, not just yet. I was a bit, you know, I was willing to take my time, to say the least. Noble Germanic horseman definitely took some HP damage there, but my Persian hull is forced to pull back here. His freemen have engaged with them, but that's kind of what I wanted, because now I'm just going to charge in with my Pushtikban. His Freemen have overextended here. They are a cheap unit, but it's like 240 talents. So imagine one of your Germanic archers dying without causing a single casualty. Oh, actually no, these Freemen caused 46 casualties on Persian hunters. So all in all, not really all that bad, but I got a free charge, lost one Pushtikban as well in the process, getting a second charge on the Freemen, just completely devastating them with the Griff Panvar. He sparked one of his Scara Francisca onto Wedge. I'm not really sure why. Scara Francisca, like wedge formation shock cavalry, will not do well against regular formation shock cavalry. They will almost always lose. I can understand maybe he didn't want them to bear the brunt of the shock damage from the Pushtikban Cataphracts, but then the Scara Francisca will beat them, in my opinion. I don't see why they wouldn't, except that the Pushtikban beat them in mass, but I mean, I'm not too sure on this, don't quote me, but a modder, Walrus Jones told me that mass doesn't play a role in cavalry on cavalry engagements. I haven't tested this myself yet. I would trust his word, but I'm not, maybe he's made a mistake as well. I'm not really sure. I just don't want to, say that as, complete truth. I'm not really sure. Some of my Pushtikban getting shot at by his Germanic archers. You can see their scary long range there. So I'm pulling off one of my Persian brigade. Right now you can see my formation is all sorts of messed up. I'm just really not sure what to do. I decide to leave one of my Pushtikban here. I leave a couple of my cavalry units there with a couple of infantry units there. Kind of form up into two different squadrons. I'm moving up one of my Pushtikban here, one of my another Pushtikban there, and moving up with my Persian brigade, trying to be a bit aggressive because I see he doesn't have any cavalry here. He's got one Noble Germanic horseman and like a couple of one Scara Francisca and a Frankish general. So he wouldn't really want to engage in a cavalry fight there, especially if I can devastate his entire Noble Germanic swords line and his Germanic archers in my charge. Pushtikban pulling off there. Pushtikban getting a couple of getting HP damage mostly. Armenian slingers coming into the fore though, and this would be a decent target. Maybe I can get some shots on his Noble Germanic swordsman. They have only 25% missile block chance, but ideally I would want to just destroy his horsemen. I'm just pulling off with these guys just to, like, it's mind games at this point. None of us have really engaged yet, so what I'm trying to do is threaten him with my slingers that, don't fuck with my main line. I've got some slingers too, who also have really high range, and they will just devastate your archers if you try to get too cheeky with them. Just go to Nando's, man. If you're trying to be cheeky, go to Nando's. This ain't the time or the place to get cheeky. Persian hurlers here getting some flank shots from Germanic archers in with heavy shot. Also, Griffpanvar, no, Pushtikban taking some more fire from these guys. That ain't good. And you can see there's definitely some HP damage going on there. The Germanic archers are moving in. Meanwhile, I'm sending my Persian hurlers on a wild goose chase or a wild cavalry chase, wild horse chase, trying to chase off and hit these Frankish generals, and maybe lure him into charging into these Persian hurlers, and then they would fall under the trap of my Armenian slingers and of course my Pushtikban, who are of course hidden there. So wisely, he's pulling back with his Frankish general. He is taking rear shots from slingers, which isn't good. Scara Francisca as well, with their pretty poor missile block chance, should be taking quite a bit of damage there. Again, pulling up in front with my Persian brigade. Still, he is kiting back with his cavalry. I can see why he doesn't want to engage. The problem is he's got cavalry that is completely unsupported by infantry. So he needs to make those charges matter like a whole lot, because I'm much more defensive. I'm ready for him to attack me. Like, that's fine with me. Meanwhile, I'm sending one of my Persian brigade here to attack his freemen. Yeah, his freemen. They get a charge. That's mainly to let my Pushtikban come in to support. I was just pulling off with these Pushtikban. Pull back with them. Give him, maybe make him try and reform his pikes a little bit more. And now that his pikes are up in the air, I'm going to try and get a charge in. No? Well, I decided to get a charge in here. Let's see if it's good or if I completely fuck it up. Yep, the pikes weren't laid down, or some of them were laid down. I'm sure my Pushtikban takes some casualties there. If anything, from the huge amounts of archer fire there. Pushtikban taking some. Ooh, they're taking quite a few casualties now. My Persian brigade destroyed those freemen. I guess the freemen didn't get a charge in. Pushtikban's still hale and healthy, basically. And then here, meanwhile, his Scara Francisca charging into Persian hurlers. That's again what I wanted. And now I'm going to try and charge in with my Pushtigbaan. Doesn't really happen, the timing was off a little bit. I pull off with this Pushtigbaan here. They've lost 7 units and destroyed a Germanic pike, which is all in all not a great trade-off for them. Noble Germanic horsemen, not in diamond, but still in a pretty blockish formation. They would do decently against shock cavalry in that sense. Gaude also decided to charge against my Persian brigade, but obviously they were not going to have any of that. 44 kills on Armenian slingers, 68 kills with these guys. They're already down with, they've lost a couple of volleys though. I don't know what they were shooting at. Maybe just some shitty units, crappy tier units. That's not good. Pulled back with the Noble Germanic horsemen and took 1 casualty in the process from Armenian slingers. And now he's moving up with the rest of his army. But again, that means that there are some pockets here that might be ripe for the picking. So I decided to send a couple of my Pushtigbaan cataphracts here. I also decided to scout out with my Persian brigade just to see if I can get some line of sight before my guys charge in. I can see now that he's got a Noble Germanic horseman that's hidden there. So that ain't good, again. So I decided to charge his Germanic archers here, get a cheeky charge there. Persian brigade now dying, got 100 kills, but now wavering and dying. That's all good. They got a decent enough charge. Now I don't see his Noble Germanic horsemen. They were, oh yeah, my Pushtigbaan just got free charge from Noble Germanic horsemen. So I decided to pull back with them. They're going to take a shit ton of damage, but you know what? It's all good because if I was staying there, then I would just lose them in that battle. So I decided to go ahead and charge with the second Pushtigbaan. Get a pretty shit charge, to be quite honest. But now he's charging in with the Skara Francisca, and this pullback was so essential because now I can just charge in with this Pushtigbaan against this Skara Francisca. And the Skara Francisca, they take so much damage from the charge. It's insane. Sure, my Pushtigbaan also take a shit ton of damage, but these Skara Francisca cost a lot more than my Pushtigbaan. All in all, a very cost-effective engagement for me. And oh yeah, that's because my Armenian slingers were doing the damage on this Skara Francisca. Now I pull off with my Pushtigbaan since my Persian brigade have come in there. That's why they're so important. Persian brigade, I mean, they're very cheap, very aggressive melee infantry support. Charge in with the second Pushtigbaan against the Skara Francisca, completely destroyed. And now did I get a charge in on these Noble Germanic? I don't know. I mean, they're not dying. But now I have my Sovereign Sardar who's going to be able to push the hole here left and then charge into these Germanic archers. They're fleeing now, but that means I can get a couple of very easy kills on Germanic archers. I'm also coming in with elite Dalemite infantry. This one Pushtigbaan got 140 kills, about to get a double experience chevron, but all in all, not really very cost effective. But my Armenian slingers though, just destroy the Skara Francisca. And now, of course, I've got my Griv Panwar there. He's popped them into wedge, which is why they're getting slaughtered. Do I even get a charge? I do get a charge at the last second. But all in all, you know, that Skara Francisca was depleted. Now, of course, I'm going to charge in a second time against this Skara Francisca because that one was in diamond, so it allowed a lot of my units to charge in a second time. And then I'm going to charge into this Skara Francisca with a rear charge from my Pushtigbaan. I've got one elite Dalemite infantry that's still attacking these Noble Germanic horsemen. Meanwhile, my Sovereign Sardar is being so devastating here. Destroyed one of his Germanic archers. And now he's going to charge into these guys. I have one elite Dalemite infantry that's chasing off some of his units. I pulled back my Sovereign Sardar. I'm letting his Frankish general overcommit here. It's going to be very important. I'm letting his Frankish general overcommit. I have my infantry much closer now. And then finally I'm going to try and charge in with my Sovereign Sardar. Yeah, I'm going to charge in with my Sovereign Sardar. Get a flank charge on him. Let my Armenian slingers even devastate them with a couple of volleys before I finally get a flank charge on that Frankish general. So all sorts of devastation for that Frankish general. Look at how quickly they're dying. So yeah, pulling back my Sovereign Sardar, while it might have seen like a very inconsequential move, it was probably, you know what, fine, I'll toot my own horn this time. It was a pretty good move on my part. 85 kills, 1 experience chevron, 94 because they've just hit the rear of the Noble Germanic horsemen, or sorry, swordsmen, and now they're going to charge into this Germanic archer. They've taken some casualties. They're down to 47 men. But all in all, you know, I've got a Pushtigbaan cataphract at full strength here, and he's lost almost all of his cavalry. He's got this one Skara Francisca. I'm not really sure what he's doing with them. And, you know, most of his Noble Germanic swordsmen are really not going to do anything against my Dalemites. He lost his Skara Francisca here, 56 kills against pretty decent infantry units. I think a lot of devastation was caused by my Armenian slingers. Double experience chevron here, single XP chevron there, another experience chevron here. All of my slingers did very well. All of them were cost effective, and just that one unit alone, if it proves to be such a nuisance, that itself will win Assassinate army the match on its own. Bushnik Ban here, 172 kills, killing off the noble Germanic swordsman, horseman, of course, with elite Dalamite infantry coming into support. And all in all, this seems like it's wrapped up. I appreciate Arctic Shield for his patience shown in this game, but constantly moving his units and not moving his cavalry, or sorry, moving his cavalry first and then moving his units much later, left some gaps that were pretty easily exploited, especially by my Sovereign Sardar here with 223 kills, about to get a double experience chevron, and ultimately left his army disjointed. That would work maybe if it was a power faction like the Huns, but with Franks who are already so bad, you can't really expect too much. I'm using one of my Armenian slingers here without its ammo to charge into these Germanic archers. I got in 11 kills with them. Really hasn't been able to do much with these guys. Now I see he's got one final Scar Francisca. I'm really not worried. They can charge into all of my units for all I care, because I still have so many cavalry left. Oh yeah, his general. I completely forgot about him. Pushtikban charged into them, and that's how they've got this triple experience chevron. About to get a single silver. Isn't that crazy? Because his Frankish general was super expensive too, triple gold on them. And now the Scar Francisca. Oh, shit! The Scar Francisca charged in. Got 92 kills on the charge. Scar Francisca are very deadly against infantry units, but just not very deadly against cavalry, it seems. So they're pulling back from the horde of pajama warriors there. And let's see if they get a second charge. Oh, this is going to be pretty devastating. Do they have... No, they have swords in melee. Wow. That's pretty cool. So, Scar Francisca, 192 kills. Of course, I left my units all bunched up, so it's whatever, because I knew this game was over. So I'm just going to fast forward, like 9 seconds left. His units are wavering, and close victory for me. I wanted to bring this replay to you guys because it was a pretty interesting set of tactics that was employed by Arctic Shieldbreaker that honestly could have won him the game. I see that he was trying to use the forest to get some shock charges off, some unexpected charges. That worked with that one noble Germanic horseman, but then my ranged advantage with my Armenian slingers was too much for his Scar Francisca to just sit there and take, so he decided to commit with them, and he committed without infantry support, which allowed me to win the game so easily. Anyways guys, that's the end of this battle. Hope you enjoyed and stay tuned for more. Peace.